Do you hear me? Yes? I would prefer to read some of my text. It will be rather short, and it might give you the possibility to ask some questions. First of all, who am I and what is my practice? My name is Michel Mouton, and as a young adult, I met by accident or by chance, as you see it, a master blacksmith who introduced me into the world of an ancient craft with a very contemporary look. I understood that the only way of safeguarding this or other nearly forgotten crafts in general is making it contemporary. Introducing new technology and design without disavowing old techniques or historical evolution. With our feet in the origins of mankind, as a blacksmith, but with our head in the 21st century. Organizing workshops with our caravan of fire and iron, a mobile workshop, holding exhibitions or organizing lectures, and organizing long-term teaching programs for future master blacksmiths. Doing this, we have tried to make a small contribution to this belief over the past 15 years that to safeguard a trade or a craft, that you have to make it contemporary. Did we already work with museums? Yes, we had contacts with different museums all over Belgium. We work in the 3 different regions of Belgium, but most of the times on a one-shot basis. And we also worked, I have to say, with one Brussels museum on a long-term basis. The one-shot events were mostly events where blacksmithing was introduced to the large public through demonstrations, seeing someone do something, which we always tried to convert in an activity where people discover the trade not only by their eyes, but with their hands and their body, by doing it themselves. As for the long-term relation with Brussels Museum, it was primarily based on giving our team the opportunity to work and show our trade or craft in the heart of the city. While nowadays, most arts and activities are banned from the public, as they are hidden in industrial areas. Who had contacted who for these events? For the one-shot events, the initial contact mostly came from the museums themselves. For the sake of some special events they were organizing. Sometimes, but less often, we contacted them looking for partners to help us reach our target public. What was this cooperation about? The cooperation was primarily based on a need from the museums to brighten up some major event or festivity for the museum itself. For instance, the reopening of the museum or part of the museum after reconstruction works, reopening a new museum season, or events linked to National Heritage Days or Open Monument Days. What did we do together with those museums? Mostly, we set up a blacksmith studio on the grounds of the museum for a one-day demonstration. Sometimes we organized on their grounds, with the help of the museums, a workshop going from 1 to several days to give a professional initiation in the blacksmith trade to a small group of youngsters or adults. And this cooperation in some ways helped safeguard our tradition and practice. And how did it happen? It's a big question. Safeguarding is naturally practice, as practice is a very huge task. It's like building a pyramid. But every stone has its function in the pyramid. So does every contact the public can have with an endangered practice. It will help this very practice to be on the foreground for a very small moment of glory, as we can see it, which in one way or another will feed the collective subconscious which can help revive this ancient manual craft in this rapidly changing world where screens are the new tools. Possibilities and threats. One threat is that what we do in a museum could be like a practice in a zoo-like activity. It's like a souvenir of olden days, you know, it's like, it's a museum thing, so let's go and have a look. This would certainly happen if the museum itself is not convinced that it's not a matter of sheer conservation, as it used to be understood, but it's a way of giving oxygen to an old craft to find a new future. Is there any way you think policies could stimulate the cooperation with museums? Recently, there was the launching of the Meester Labeling grants in Flanders, and this seems to break new grounds in the safeguarding of intangible heritage, and specifically for crafts as the blacksmith craft. And museums should get into contact with the stakeholders of these grants to pursue a common policy. And is there anything else you would like to add in general? Yes. We believe in doing instead of seeing, and doing instead of watching or seeing is, I think, the best way of safeguarding practices like crafts or trades. Thank you. Maybe I have still 1 or 2 minutes left. Is there any specific question for the moment, or shall we pass to the next speaker, Floortje?
No questions?
There is a question.
I have a question. Could you indicate the museums where you were active?
Yes.
Was there any link between the core activity of the museum and the work you were showing or were doing?
Sometimes yes, because sometimes there were museums like of local history, so blacksmiths were very important in local history. Sometimes less, like when we were invited for events like for museums for ancient art. I think of other examples. Sometimes in theory, yes, because in the objectives of the official objectives of the museums, you can find that reviving old crafts were part of their things to do, but in practice this was not always very clear, and so these one-shot activities could help, like a little bit, to save this kind of objectives that they had. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.